This is your Lone Star Liberty Beat for the week of September 25th, 2012. From YNN, Love Austin Group wants voters to check yes on bond proposals. A group calling itself Love Austin is asking citizens to pass 7 bond proposals in the upcoming election that they believe will make the capital city a better place. The group, led by Austin Mayor Lee Leffingwell, held a pep rally in East Austin Monday. "I urge everyone in the city to support the entire bond propositions," the mayor said. In a little more than 1 month, voters can decide if Austin gets $385 million worth of city services. A few choices on the ballot include $143 million transportation bond, $31 million for public safety, $30 million for water quality, and $13 million for cultural arts. Coming out of the Statesman, state reviewing proposals for 3 more public-private developments in Austin. Proposals for a new state office building in north central Austin and 2 mixed-use projects near the Capitol have been submitted to the Texas Facilities Commission. The public-private partnerships are being reviewed by staff members before full proposals, minus proprietary information, are posted on the agency's website. Statesman had reported in June that the Facilities Commission was studying several unsolicited proposals worth an estimated $500 million. The possible public-private partnership projects at the Capitol complex. The 3 proposed Austin projects announced by the Facilities Commission are a state office building and mixed-use project at the southeast corner of 51st and Guadalupe Street, a mixed-use project at the state parking lot on the southeast corner of 11th Street and Congress Avenue, a mixed-use project on the northeast corner of 15th and Lavaca Street. The article goes on to say, public-private partnerships are becoming a trend for governments to finance improvements or raise revenue without borrowing money or raising taxes. Of course, anytime you hear those 3 words, public-private partnership, that's a little code word for fascism. Statesman.com, again, there's a report. This is actually some good news we're finally seeing here. Fewer Texans return to prison as state focuses on rehabilitation and treatment. Thanks partly to greatly expanded rehabilitation and treatment programs, Texas sent 11% fewer ex-convicts back to prison in recent years, a significant drop in recidivism that is being replicated across the country, according to a new study. The study, to be released today by the Council of State Governments Justice Center Project, shows that Texas's recidivism rate, the number of felons who return to prison within 3 years after they are discharged or paroled, posted the double-digit drop for prisoners released in 2007. Between 2000 and 2007, the recidivism rate dropped 22%, according to the report. Some good news coming out of the state of Texas. They're not just in there for the profits. It seems like there's a little bit of reform going on. Police filming guidelines criticized by attorney for Photographers Association. It's out of Statesman.com. The attorney for one of the nation's largest photojournalism advocacy groups issued a letter Monday criticizing the Austin Police Department's recently issued guidelines on how officers should interact with citizens who are filming them. Ms. Mickey H. Osterricher, the general counsel for the North Carolina-based National Press Photographers Association, told Police Chief Art Acevedo that he had, quote, serious concerns over a training bulletin issued August 28 that instructs officers to give reasonable orders to people they believe are interfering with their duties. If that person does not comply, they may be arrested, the bulletin said. Osterricher said the policy is not clear enough on what constitutes interference. He said that most police departments define such an act as physically interfering with the officers. This is another quote from Osterricher. Aside from being overly broad and vague, we believe that this APD policy leaves far too much to the discretion of your officers, whereby they can construe almost anything as interference. We believe that if challenged, such a directive would be deemed to be unconstitutional. You can expect the Rise Up radio show to be giving you more coverage on this. We will be hearing from Antonio Beeler later on the 925 show, and also Clay Defoe has an in-depth story on the reasonableness, the interference, and Austin Police Department's continual push against those that are recording them in the course of their duties. Some more public safety news. Major Austin cocaine dealer gets 13 years in prison. And it's worth noting this will only fall in the public safety category because there's a state prohibition on marijuana, cocaine, and that actually increases violence rather than reduces violence when it comes to dealing with drugs. Vivid Kahi, a major Austin cocaine dealer who federal authorities said distributed more than 150 kilos of cocaine since 2008, was sentenced Monday to 13 years in federal prison. Kahi was among 14 people indicted in March in U.S. District Court in Austin on charges of conspiracy to possess with the intent to distribute cocaine. The charges marked what police called at the time the dismantling of a major Austin cocaine dealing cell. Each defendant has pleaded guilty to a drug conspiracy charge, and 11 have been sentenced by U.S. District Judge Lee Yeakel. Well, a lot of people say legalize marijuana. I say legalize it all. The countries that actually have done that have found 5 to 10 years later that they have actually reduced the rate of drug use and most certainly violence and crime surrounding the drug trade. Moving on, some more public safety news. This is from YNN. APD investigates assault that could be a hate crime. The victims of a weekend assault say the attack on them was a hate crime. Andrew Opelman, 49, says he was waiting in line to get pizza just after midnight Friday near 4th and Colorado Streets when a man attacked his friend. When Opelman tried to intervene, the attacker turned on him, punching him in the face and mouth. And I don't think people wanted to tell me, but once I got to the hospital, I realized I lost 8 teeth, Opelman said. The whole thing was horrific, and then at that point, his friend stood there laughing. Police say the attacker ran away, but his friend was too drunk to run and was taken into custody on public intoxication charges. Police are investigating the attack as an aggravated assault and will look at certain, quote, bias indicators to help prosecutors decide whether it constitutes a hate crime. Many people are probably familiar with the fact that these new hate crime laws add newer and harsher penalties whenever it is considered a hate crime if it's against a particular race or somebody, a gay couple, for example. I personally think that we shouldn't put people in groups. We shouldn't see people as groups. Obviously, the attacker shouldn't see people as groups and cause them to lash out against somebody. But I don't think that we need to have laws where certain classes of people have certain privileges or harsher penalties if a certain class is attacked. Like police officers, for example. If somebody assaults a police officer, it's a felony, and you could bet your bottom dollar the district attorney will try to throw the full weight at you. But if you assault somebody without a badge, often it goes unchecked, or it's just a slap on the wrist. Likewise, I don't think that when gay couples or a gay person is assaulted because they're gay, there should be a stiffer or harsher penalty. I think that we need to deal with some societal problems that would lead people to be so hateful as to attack someone because of their sexual preferences. That's my 2 cents on that front. Another YNN story, new state SAT data brings mixed results. New data released Monday by the College Board, which administers the SAT, shows the number of Hispanic and African American test takers has increased 65% and 42% respectively since 2007. However, overall scores in math, reading, and writing on the college entrance exam are once again below average. The scores dropped about 5 points compared to 2011. So more people are taking it, but people are doing not so good on it. Here we have some hyper-local news. This is from the Hayes Free Press, for those of you tuning in out in Kyle. Monarch monopoly. Kyle could put the clamp on water company. Kyle City Manager Lanny Lambert told Monarch Utilities that customers are unhappy and feel unsafe. First of all, Monarch Utilities have painted all their fire hydrants black, which indicates inadequate fire protection, and they're scared to death that their houses are going to burn. Kyle is making headway in its attempt to regulate Monarch Utilities Incorporated, who has been the center of many complaints ranging from poor customer service, subpar fire protection, and less than desirable water quality. After years of residents' complaints, Kyle is now offering Monarch an ultimatum: agree to our rules or get ready for battle. About 900 residents in the Amberwood and Indian Paintbrush neighborhoods receive water services from Monarch, and after lodging complaint after complaint for at least the past 5 years, residents now are lobbying the council to kick Monarch out of town. But expelling Monarch, a subsidiary of the California-based Southwest Water Co., is not easy, as their right to service certain area residents is bestowed by the state. So here we have a hyper-local example of a state monopoly forcing service upon a certain geographic area, not allowing market forces to take into effect. And now it seems like a lot of customers are stuck because they have no choice, because the state's forcing monopolies. Here's some more local news, this one coming out of Hayes. Dixie tops school board meeting discussion. A racially motivated vandalism incident at Hayes High School last spring prompted community members to give impassioned statements at Monday night's Hayes CISD Board of Trustees regular meeting. Last spring, 2 male freshman students, one white and one Hispanic, wrote racial slurs and urinated on a black teacher's classroom door at Hayes High School. They also damaged other school property on a vandalism spree. Public discourse at the time included suggestions again to stop using the Rebel mascot and Dixie fight song because it is offensive to some in the community and affects the image projected by the high school to other districts. Many people not in the area, they may not be aware that Hayes High School has Old Dixie, the Confederate flag, as their flag that they fly, as their symbol, and their mascot is the high school Rebel. It's due to history, of course. It's not racist in itself, but here we have some punk kids that seem to be racist, and it's especially ironic that a Latino kid would hate on another minority race. But this is just more sad news about a crumbling society and culture. So we'll keep you up to date on what's going down with that for you listening there in Hayes. And finally, we got some tech news. Again, coming out of YNN, 3D print shops enter new dimensions. What makes the MarketBot store in Manhattan's Greenwich Village different from any other store you've ever visited isn't just that everything on sale is made right there. It's how it's made, all with 3D printing. It's also a first for MakerBot itself, the company that's helping to pioneer 3D printing. A lot of the stuff that's for sale in the store has been designed by our 3D designers. A few of the designs have been designed by other people from the designs on Thanksgiveverse, our website, where our community shares the designs they've made, and they can print their own 3D printers. And though right now you can't just walk in with your own set of plans and have a product custom made for you on the spot, MakerBot says it's not ruling out that capacity and that capability in the future. Products at the store range in price from $5 to just over $700. So this is the Rise Up Radio Show with a Lone Star Liberty Beat segment. That's been the local news for the week of September 25th, 2012. Stick around for a word from some of the underwriters of this program, and we'll see you soon.